close, hard-fought game is to get back on the court in a short period of time. They're back at it again today.
These five will be on the court for the Hoyas. The Jeep starting lineups. Watch out for Rodney Pryor, number 23, 32 points a game against USC Upstate, reigning Big East Player of the Week. And for the Red Wolves of Arkansas State, their two leaders are two senior guards, number 0, Dante Thomas, and number 3, Devin Carter. Both of those guys are very explosive, and they are the go-to. We are ready for action. At center court, it's Jesse Govan for Georgetown and Salib Bouger, the freshman for Arkansas State. And the Hoyas control the tap. It will be loud in here, ladies and gentlemen. There's nowhere for the noise to go at McDonough Arena. Saw the officials, Earl Walton, Clarence Armstrong, Nathan Farrell, as the Hoyas working around on their first possession. Govan outside the arc. He did hit 2 threes against Maryland, but this time the big man putting it on the deck and drawing the first foul of the game.
The first thing I noticed there, Arkansas State looks as though they're going to start doubling the post. A little bit concerned early on about the Hoyas' size, so the Hoyas are going to have to make sure they make sharp, crisp passes out of those double teams on the interior.
Reset the shot clock to 30. Driving to the basket, the freshman Mosley gets fouled. So too quick against Arkansas State in the foul category. And the Hoyas, 74 free throws already attempted through the first 2 games, and they're going to the line here early.
Look, the big emphasis this season, as was last season, is freedom of movement. And officials so far this season seem to be sticking to it. You can't put your hands on anyone on the perimeter or in the post.
And Earl Walton instead says that foul was on the ground, so underneath out of bounds again for Georgetown. Mosley off the bounce. No offensive foul this time. We're going the other way.
I thought that was solid D that time by Arkansas State. Mosley got caught in the air right there. And Arkansas State, they slid over. They were stationary before he left his feet. Solid call, that possession by the officials. You see right here, watch it. Good foot movement. Carter steps over, takes it in the chest.
Devin Carter taking that charge. Mentioned he's one of the leaders. And watch out for this Georgetown press. John, this is something that Georgetown's doing more of this year, pressure.
Yeah, they're changing their style a little bit, but they can this year because they have far more athletes than they've had in the past. And they're a very deep ball club as well. They're pressed their entire 40 minutes.
Dante Thomas, the senior from right here in Washington, D.C., said he grew up a Georgetown fan, always wanted to play for the Hoyas. Well, he's back in D.C. wearing red, and he gets the first bucket of the game.
You know he's locked and loaded for this game for certain.
Mosley kicks to the corner, and a 3 in the air and off the mark by Pete. And quickly an outlet up ahead to Foster. And he may have walked. He did walk. Lost his footing underneath with 2 Hoyas in front of him.
Right here, jump stops, which is the proper move, but he's going just a little bit too fast. Officials all over it. I tell you, the Hoyas have to be certain that emotionally, Brandon, there's no letdown. You know, you play a team like Maryland, top 25 ball club, emotions are high. Didn't come out the way you wanted. Now the next game, in a short-term time span, you have to make sure that you still bring the same energy, same emotion that you did that game.
Well, then they'll be leaving tomorrow for the Maui Invitational, as it's going to be 3 early fouls now in less than 2 minutes on Arkansas State. But yeah, Ron, the old adage, don't let one game beat you twice. And with Maui looming in the beach, not that these players will be on the beach the whole time they're out there, but that's tough for these guys.
It is. It's an NCAA tournament environment early in the season, so they give guys a chance to get a feel for exactly where they are.
Govan couldn't get it to go. Arkansas State with the early 2-0 lead in the basketball. They got a win over Central Baptist on Monday at Arkansas State, an NAIA program. Their loss earlier came against North Dakota State in the first game of the season. As ripping the rebound out of there is Isaac Copeland for Georgetown. Copeland from 18. A little strong. And Georgetown struggling offensively to start.
Both teams a little rusty early. And the key for the Hoyas, if they can get their first shot to fall, that'll ignite their full court pressure. But they haven't been able to get in it because they haven't been able to convert.
Only bucket of the game so far by that man, Dante Thomas.
I like the spacing by Arkansas State. Look at the spacing they have on the floor. They always take it to a high ball screen, and if the Hoyas' weak side help isn't there, it'll leave a wide open looks.
The southpaw from the corner gets a friendly roll on the road. That's Devin Carter making it by himself.
That's going to go a long way for Carter's move. You know, he's been struggling a little bit from the perimeter as of late. 17 points a game last year. That seeing your first one go down is huge. Good job right here. Ball movement by Arkansas State. The weak side collapsed a little bit too far. Excellent skip pass. Carter was set. He was ready. He let it go.
Make it now 4 fouls on Arkansas State as Georgetown still searching for their first points. Deflected pass gets up to Govan. And Govan, he's a big man, but I mentioned he likes to step away. Speaking of stepping away, falling back there, LJ Peak. The ball went in, but the basket will not count. And that is 2 quick fouls on Jemiah Simmons, so he will sit on the Arkansas State bench. Over 3 minutes gone by. Govan down the right side of the lane, and he gets it to drop. And the Hoyas break the goose egg. Little backcourt pressure. As Mosley, they try to trap it midcourt, but passing out of it, Thomas. Now a 3 on the wing, can he get another? Yes, 2 of them have gone down now from deep for Devin Carter.
One thing's for certain, when you trap away from Carter, the rotation guys have to find him really quickly because Carter's taking all open looks, Brandon, all night long.
You mentioned he scored 17 points a game last year. Tops on the team, number 2 in the Sun Belt Conference. Deep touch, Govan, that's easy.
And that's where I think in the team, against a team like this, Jesse Govan can be so effective. If he can plant himself as close as he can to the rim, even though he's talented and can hit the outside shot, they need him to go to work on the inside.
Especially in the absence of Bradley Hayes, their center who's out for 4 games.
Exactly. He's the tallest on the ball club. The Hoyas are versatile this season, but with Bradley Hayes being out for another 2 games, they're going to need Jesse Govan to hold it down on the inside.
Red Wolves up 8-4. Rashad Lindsay with a nice dish. And that will send Tomas Bruce to the line.
Throughout the course of the game by either ball club. It's one of those games that the emotions are so high, you almost have to remind your guys, look, that was the 2nd game of the season. We got a lot more basketball to play. We just have to be able to focus, regroup, and get ready for the rest of the games on our season.
Junior JUCO transfer Tomas Bruce misses the first of 2 for Arkansas State.
One of the things, if you notice, Arkansas State, they're not a very tall ball club as it relates to the Hoyas, but they have a lot of guys around between that 6'6" and 6'8" range, and they're athletic. So a lot what they lack in size, they make up for with their energy level.
And you're right, nobody taller than 6'8" on their roster. The 6'7" Bruce misses both free throws to keep us at a 4-point game. Copeland up high. Now they go back into Govan and a foul. A push on Bruce, and that's one of the points of emphasis this year, Ron, physicality in the post.
Exactly. They're trying to be as consistent with the physical play in the post as they've been on the perimeter. You know, in years past, if you touched anyone on the perimeter, they were calling the foul. Well, I always wanted to know, if it's a foul if I put my hand on you and you're a guard, why isn't it a foul if you're a big and I put my hand on you? So the officials this season are trying to be a little bit more consistent with that call.
That is 16 fouls on Arkansas State, so the next one will put the Hoyas at the line. Still, as you see, plenty of time on the clock, over 15 and a half. A little trouble getting it in, but Peak throws it up top, and it's knocked out of bounds by Bouget.
That possession, when the Hoyas made their first break in their baseline out of bounds play, once their cut was stopped, they didn't do the second part. You know, you got to make 2 and 3 cuts if your first option isn't open. Almost like a wide receiver going for a pass. If the quarterback's in trouble, he's got to keep moving.
And there is a pass wide of the intended target, Govan from Copeland. So a turnover by the Hoyas. Govan had the position. Now they're trapping in the backcourt. And Arkansas State able to break into the right hand of Lindsay. I mentioned Bruce is a JUCO transfer, so is Rashad Lindsay, number 1 with the basketball. He gets it off to Carter. In fact, 9 newcomers, 5 of them on this team for Arkansas State played at junior college last year.
And the interesting thing is both ball clubs have a lot of newcomers that are going to be vital in terms of both of these teams' success.
And that will be a shot clock violation. It was a decent look underneath, but Boucher, the big man for Arkansas State, couldn't handle it, fell on the ground, and Georgetown will get the basketball.
Brandon, both of these teams are going to use their bench. Both of these teams are going to use multiple guys. The thing that's interesting is both teams also, they like to get up and down and they'll shoot quickly. So it's going to be a matter of which team can be a little more efficient than the other.
Pryor had 32 in that first game against USC Upstate, but his pass to the wing is knocked out by Foster. But Pryor, a guy for Georgetown, coming from Robert Morris, one of those graduate transfers that's become so prevalent in college basketball. He can add a lot to this Georgetown team in the 2016-17 campaign.
You're right. He's an explosive scorer. But in addition to being able to score the ball, Brandon, he can defend. He does other things. He's definitely not a one-dimensional ball player.
20 to shoot. Here is the aforementioned Pryor. And now in the post to Govan. Little give and go. Oh, missing the bunny at the rim. Johnson could not get it to go. Caleb Johnson off the bench, his first attempt. And it doesn't drop.
That was a great read, I thought, by Jesse Govan. He was almost triple teamed, and Johnson cut. He's got to finish those.
So we remain 8-4. Arkansas State leading. Kern, he's a three-point specialist. This time he fires with a foot on the line and does not get the bounce. The other direction, Pete. Oh, but the putback slam, yes, from Rodney Pryor. Rodney Pryor with an electric slam that gets him on their feet. And
I tell you what, that possession, Connor Kern didn't turn and put a body on Pryor, and Pryor just went to the rim with a vengeance.
See how Arkansas State does now after their head coach Grant McCasland used the timeout. Alongside Ron Thompson, I'm Brandon Gordon. Driving and dishing Thomas into the corner. Open three, and that is off the mark. Missed by Carter, and bringing it the other way, Johnson. Govan to a cutting Johnson, and a couple extra passes up top to Mulmore. And back to Johnson, who cannot tie us up at 8. He's had two good looks as Caleb Johnson at the rim has not knocked either down.
Caleb is doing the hard part, which is getting there. Now he's got to be able to finish. Good patience, I thought, that time by the Hoyas. Jesse Govan came down, passed up an early shot. And then right here, you're going to see Pryor coming out of nowhere. You got to put a body on everyone on this court tonight on both ball clubs because there are a lot of athletes out here, Brandon.
That made it 8-6, and that's where we stand right now as we approach 13-15 remaining in the opening half. Thomas, one of the two leaders for this team. Back to the corner for Foster, and that one is off the mark. Arkansas State came into the game 39% from downtown in their first two contests. They have hit a pair, but missed their last three so far. As Georgetown, Ron, they look a little unsettled in the half court so far.
Yeah, what's happened, they need to see the ball go through the basket. They've gotten some good looks like that. That was a good shot. He just shot an air ball. The ball hasn't been able to go through, so they haven't been able to set up their defense. And, you know, what it looks like tonight so far in this game is they've got to shake off the rust from the Maryland game. That game is gone. It's in the past. It was a day ago. Let's get locked and loaded and play Arkansas State.
Heading out of the game, C.J. Foster. Mentioned that the Hoyas will head to Maui to play the Maui Invitational. They'll leave tomorrow. First game on Monday against Oregon. Here's a three from the wing, and that is short off the right hand of Copeland, but an offensive rebound by Govan. Govan backing down, going to work. No good, but a blocking foul.
I like that. Momentum, action by the big fella going towards the basket. Anytime he can get that kind of play, that kind of movement, he's in perfect condition. He's going to catch it on the low block, turn strong, goes right towards the basket. No fade away, no jump shot, go towards the basket, put pressure on the defense.
And earlier I mentioned the emphasis of the post and physicality and that being called. That looked to me like a prime example of violating the offensive player's cylinder, the vertical cylinder. And when that happens, they're going to whistle that every time.
Every single time this year.
Govan off the mark on his first attempt. 5 of 7 at the line so far this year as Kern comes back into the game. And Carter sits. Sixth sophomore from Queens Village, New York, Jesse Govan. Can't get either. And the Red Wolves keep their 2-point lead here on the road in a hostile environment. 2,500 on the campus at Georgetown. Normally the Hoyas play at Verizon Center. And there's a bucket and a foul on a nice move by Dante Thomas.
Again, the spacing that you see by Arkansas State is absolutely perfect. Because of the spacing, you can see driving lanes in that position. Thomas took full advantage of it. The rip through, gets to his spot, a little bit too much physicality, that possession by Mosley. Great finish, that possession by Thomas.
That is 2 fouls on the freshman, Jacob Mosley.
See, when you look at Arkansas State, they put at all times about 4 guys on the floor that can put the ball on the deck. So what happens when you have the good spacing that they have, all of a sudden you see the driving lanes, and they're skilled enough to get to those spots to the basket.
Free throw good, and Thomas and Carter have all 11 for Arkansas State. We said at the top of the broadcast, they're the go-to guys. A nice pass inside there, and Akoy Agao, the backup center, finishes at the 10. And here comes the pressure in the backcourt from the Hoyas. Arkansas State composed, able to beat it. Runner off the mark. Put back, yes. Second time it drops. (13-8) Arkansas State, and here they're going to get the basketball back. Working it the other way, Lindsey. On the wing, Kern, this is what he does, and he knocks it down. Timeout, Georgetown. Arkansas State coming on the road and expanding their lead to 8. 14,000 students, second largest university in the state. Not picked to have a great year, though. UT Arlington's supposed to win the Sun Belt. They were picked 10th out of 12 teams, but Coach Grant McCaslin says he feels like he's got a much better squad than that. They're showing it early. Driving and a foul here defensively against the Red Wolves.
Look, all coaches hate preseason polls, whether they're national polls or conference polls, because you got to play the game at the end of the day. I mean, who knows what's going to happen as the season starts to evolve. And you like a coach like McCaslin who's having a little edge to him, saying, look, I like my ball club. He said that right before the season started. He said, we've got to come together, we've got to gel, we've got to tighten up some things. But if we can stay focused and we can keep our core guys on the floor, we're going to be a tough out. And you see it in this game so far against the Hoyas.
LJ Peak, a team-high 21 against Maryland. Got to the line 12 times. He's already attempted 22 free throws on the season after that night. There's Grant McCaslin, got his 200th win of his career as a head coach when they beat Central Baptist earlier this week. The other 199, however, came at the JUCO level. Then he was a Baylor assistant for 5 years, and now first time at the helm of a Division I program as the head man. Pete converts both, and Georgetown scrapes the lead down to 6 for Arkansas State. The senior guard Thomas brings it across. Now it's up with Sims. Sims, by the way, setting the screen now. He sat the first 2 games with a suspension. JUCO transfer, and he knocks it down on cue from 17 on the baseline.
And this is his first action this season so far. As you touched on, he was suspended early in the year, violation of team rules. Now he's seeing his first action on the road.
And he has 4 points and pushes the lead back to 8. Akoy Agao, backup center, into the corner, triggering a 3, no good by Copeland. And Arkansas State pulls it away. Here goes Thomas. Sims again, yes, with a left hand.
Sims playing like he's been shot out of a cannon, isn't he? He's getting up and down, has a ton of energy, wanting to get on the floor for the last 2 games. He's letting it all loose right now.
He's got the fresh legs. He's got 6 points. And the biggest lead right now for the Red Wolves, 10. Georgetown, a little shell shock. Campbell from distance. Short. And the little guy, Lindsey. Arkansas State, they rebound well from the guard position. Rashad Lindsey, another example of that.
In Arkansas State, Brandon, they're doing a great job. Is every single miss by the Hoyas, they're not walking it up. They're pushing it as hard as they can to try to avoid having to play against their half-court defense.
On the dribble drive, Thomas draws the foul. And that will go against L.J. Peak of Georgetown, number 0 in gray. Foul situation, though, still heavily favoring Georgetown. 8 so far on Arkansas State. That's the 4th foul on the Hoyas. So Sims, 6 points off the bench, and now he'll go back to the bench and get some water and a breather. Over halfway through the first half, Arkansas State doubling up Georgetown. Both teams at 1-1 in the early going. Step back, Thomas into the corner. 3 on the way from Lindsey. Yes! 13-point advantage for the Red Wolves.
Everything Arkansas State that's shooting up is going in. Their field goal percentage this game has got to be really high.
Well, it is already the 4th three-pointer that Arkansas State has hit. Driving inside, missing it. Copeland, and the rebound ripped out of there by Thomas.
And look at the hard push by Arkansas State. They've got numbers if they can convert.
Carter for the left hand. It doesn't drop, but he will head to the charity stripe. You're right, Ronnie. They got the ball and ran. They had a 4-on-1.
4-on-1, but I like their reaction after the mistakes by the Hoyas. Again, the hard push. They had numbers on the other end. Carter wish he had that one back. You know he wanted to finish it.
They'll get a chance to finish 2 at the stripe. A well-traveled Devin Carter started his career at Kent State. Also a year of junior college basketball. And preseason first-team All-Sun Belt for the man from Champaign, Illinois, and he knocks down attempt number 1. Brent McCaslin, he likes what he has seen so far. All net on attempt number 2 for Devin Carter. And it's 25-10, Arkansas State. Georgetown starting out 4 of 16 to the floor. And the ball going back to Arkansas State, who's 9 of 14 for the field so far.
Again, the official thought that L.J. Peak pushed off with that off arm. I don't know if I agree with that one, but, you know, look, things right now for the Hoyas, you got to grit your teeth. Right now, you're not looking good. They look as though they have a cloud. You know, the first 4 minutes of the game, they missed a lot of easy bunnies. And now, all of a sudden, psychologically, they're down a little bit. They've got to shake off the cobwebs, because I tell you what, Arkansas State, they've come to play.
That was a second foul on L.J. Peak, and he was the leader for them in that game against Maryland 2 nights ago.
He got 2 quick fouls early in that game as well. Only played about 4 minutes there in the first half.
Underneath out of bounds, it will stay with the Red Wolves, 8 to shoot. Rashad Lindsey to trigger. It's a safety valve. Carter again. Watch the shot clock. It's at 5.
You got to stay close to Carter against this zone. He'll let it go.
He wants to pull, and he does. And it's an air ball with a shot clock violation. But you saw it in his eye. That thing was going up.
You totally saw it. I watched video, and I saw the game of them against Central Baptist College, and every look that he thought he had, he knew he had. he let it go. What I like about Carter, though, is he's got a short-term memory. He's not going to let one miss phase him.
Driving Mulmore, no. Put back for Goman, doesn't drop. A battle inside, and Kern pulls it out. That leads to a 2-on-1. Lindsey drops it for Carter, who lays it in with a left hand.
What happened? You see a mistake, mislayup by the Hoyas. Hard push by Arkansas State going the other way.
And all the talk about Georgetown's pressure, you've said it, Ron, but they are getting the ball, Arkansas State, and just firing the other direction. Two-handed slam, Jesse Govan. Maybe that'll be a little energy booster for the Hoyas. Still down 15. Next whistle, we'll get our under 8 media timeout. First game played here at McDonough Arena since the 2014 NIT. This is the first regular season game played here since all the way back in 09. 5 to shoot. Lindsay. No. But on the putback, Carter, yes.
No blocks out that possession by Jesse Govan. You got to put a body on those guards. Even though they're smaller than you got to touch them.
10 points for Carter on the other end. That's off the heel by Pryor. Georgetown continues to be ice cold.
But give Arkansas State credit. The Hoyas are cold, but Arkansas State's done a great job defending them in the half court. Right now, Hoyas shift to a 2-3 zone. You got to know where the shooters are, Kern as well as Carter.
That was Kern. He kicks to the corner. That's Carter. You just said it, Ron. Their two shooters touched the ball, and the second one finished it with a free ball.
They're both lefties. They both have a quick release. When you're in a zone, you also have to understand that a zone has man-to-man principles. Even though if you're guarding an area, you have to know where the closest man is to you.
Foul.
But he's on an absolute roll right now.
He has more than the entire Georgetown team at this point. It's Carter 15, Georgetown 14. Speaking of the number 15, Jesse Govan, who dons that number on the front of the gray jersey, steps to the stripe. A 1-and-1. He knocks it down. So Arkansas State up 17. We'll see how they end this half. Still 6 to play in the first 20. Carter looking for more, and he's got more.
Jesse Govan, he saw that pass, but just couldn't get the puppies moving fast enough. And when you gamble on a shooter, they'll make you pay. Carter did that.
And that man right there, Devin Carter, 17 points. Funny, you mentioned earlier that Coach McCasland said he hasn't been getting what he wanted from Carter, averaging 10.5 through the first 2 games. Most guys, that's a good number, but for Carter, they expect more, and he's providing it here in this one.
Exactly.
Mosley driving out of control, and it went off of Mosley, so that'll go back to Arkansas State.
You're going to see a good drive right there by Mosley, but just couldn't get it up to the basket. He tried it the second time, and good call by the officials. They're all over it.
Mosley, a young freshman, still learning the throws of the college game. Now the attention back to the Red Wolves. Dante Thomas, he's the deadly tandem along with Carter. Thomas just inside the elbow, no good. More pushes. Govan, he can shoot that. Instead, this time driving and an offensive foul.
Good call by the official. I thought that possession, Jesse Govan Brandon tried to get a little too cute. If he's at that top of the key and he's got a rip through straight line drive, we'll take it. But he's not going to take it on the perimeter, cross over, and try to come back. That's just not what they need him for. They need him to get a little bit closer to the basket.
Tried the backcourt trap and nearly a turnover. Instead, a foul on Georgetown. The pass intended for Kern, but Pryor called for the bump.
Look, you see Thomas out of the trap, makes a good hard pass. Kern comes through, bodies collide. Officials thought Rodney Pryor was just a little too physical that possession.
Isaac Copeland returns.
You know, Brandon, I don't think enough has been said so far, the job that Dante Thomas has done, number 0 for Arkansas State, against this pressure by the Hoyas. I like his size, I like his body strength, and he's been able to look over the slightly shorter Georgetown guards, and when they've come to trap him, with his strength, he's been able to split it and hit guys with solid passes.
Yeah, he's 6'4". The other guard, Devin Carter, also 6'4". They have size at that position, as you mentioned earlier. Kern, who's a very good shooter from outside the arc, shows he can do it at the stripe as well.
And also, a lot of these guys are JUCO guys, so they're a little bit older. They're not going to be in awe. They've been around the block a time or two, so they're not going to be faced by much.
5 new JUCO players for Arkansas State came into the program this year alone. 8 total on the roster. Foul there on Bruce. Well, despite the big lead, Grant McCasland still upset at the whistle that sends Copeland to the line.
Oh, he's going to coach it to the very end. He's one of those high-fire, intense guys. He's not going to get comfortable with a little bit of lead. And plus, he knows he's on the road in a hostile environment. The tide can turn at any moment if they're not careful.
Copeland is 12 of 14 at the line now on the young season after that make.
See, if you're the Hoyas right now, you can't look at the clock and think and look at the score and think you're going to hit, you know, an 18-foot point, a jump shot that's going to give you 18 points. Look, you just chip away at it, and try to go into the half as close as you can to 10. And then when you come out of the gates in the second half, look to try to speed things up a little bit. But they don't need to panic. If you're the Hoyas, you need to play solid half-court deep. You got to give Arkansas State a lot of credit, I think, Brandon, because they've chopped the Hoyas up in the half-court as well.
Those two free throws get Georgetown back within 20 at 19. Thomas on an angle. Yes, and a foul.
Again, hard blow by. Trey Campbell wasn't able to stay in front. Thomas refuses this high ball screen. We're going to get a look at it. Thomas acts like he's coming off right here. Nice little crossover, hits it hard. Campbell bites on it, jumps over the screen, and then a straight line drive to the basket. That possession by Thomas. Look at here. Straight line drive. Hoyas weren't able to slide over in time.
The whistle went on the underneath man, Caleb Johnson, the sophomore, his first. And able to complete the three-point play on the bounce is the man that was born here in Washington, D.C., Dante Thomas. Rashad Lindsay coming back in for Arkansas State. Born in D.C., grew up a Hoya fan, and he and Devin Carter, the backcourt of the Red Wolves, putting on a show right now at McDonough Arena.
And they've done it as a team. You know, they scored a few points early. They didn't get overly excited. They've stuck to the courses. You see Jesse Govan go to work on a low block. I really like it when he catches the ball a little bit closer to the basket because offensively he's really, really skilled.
This crowd trying to give the Hoyas some energy as we approach 4 minutes. Sims will pull. No. He was 3 for 3 from the field prior to that miss. Inside Govan. Into the line. Just what you said, Ron. You like Govan around the basket. So it is Georgetown down big first half. See if they can make a run. 3:56 left in the first.
As opposed to dictating pace with their defense. But when you look at Arkansas State so far, field goal percentage, 60% from the floor, 71% from three.
Meanwhile, Georgetown, Ron, 30% from the floor, 0 of 6 from downtown. Govan hits a free throw. So what's the #1 thing that Georgetown needs to change for the final 3:56?
Well, they've got to get stops in the half court, which they have not been able to do. Arkansas State has chopped them up. They've had really good ball movement. And a lot of the points that they've scored have been off of penetration. So you've got to be able to contain so that you don't break your defense down and then find them skipping the ball out to guys for open shots.
Govan now has 13 as he hits both free throws. Crowd chanting defense here.
See, right here, if you look at the floor, you're going to see good spacing by Arkansas State, an awful lot of movement. And what happens is they swing up instead of high ball screen. The Hoyas either have to switch it or stay in front. But when they turn that corner, you're going to get ball screen all night long. Decisions have to be made quickly and with aggression if you're the Hoyas.
Sims, 5 to shoot. To the rim, and the finish on 3 bounces for Devin Sims. So suspended for the first 2 games, violation of team rules. He has 8 off the bench and has been a huge spark plug for Grant McCaslin and company. Deep touch for Govan. Yes, give him 2 more. 15 points for number 15. 2 great back-to-back halves now. Jesse Govan had all 12 against Maryland in the second half, and now 15 here in the first half against Arkansas State.
He's doing a great job offensively, but he needs to be a solid force on this defensive end. He's got to be able to clog up that middle, block some shots, get some rebounds, if the Hoyas going to get back in this game. Look here, Sims refuses the high ball screen, gets to the basket. Nice finish. And then Hoyas go down the other end, understanding they have the size advantage. I like that. Jesse Govan digs in really deep, catches it strong, makes a concise move on the inside.
Using that body, 6'10", 270 is Govan. Trade that for 5'11", 165, and Rashad Lindsay knocking down the first free throw for the Red Wolves. Both teams, by the way, as you can see on your screen, in the double bonus for the final 2:49. Arkansas State that lead right back up to 20. They put up 100 points on Monday, but that was against an NAIA opponent in Central Baptist at Arkansas State. 43 here so far. And back to the line goes Jesse Govan.
It's clear from the Hoyas what they want to do. They want to go inside to Jesse. Jesse does a good job sealing high. They throw it over the top. Goes up strong. Now he's at the free throw line. He's got to make his free throws. Every little bit is going to count now for the Hoyas, whether it be hitting your free throws, whether it be making the proper rotations in your half-court defense. If there's penetration, if you're supposed to have help, that help has to be there in the half-court and the offense. If your job is to set a screen and then flare, make sure you do that. If your job is to set a screen and then post up, make sure you do that. Because look, you're down 20 right now. So it's not going to be one big 20-point shot that's all of a sudden going to throw you back in this game. You've got to try to do your best to chip away at it. But this ball club by Arkansas State, a lot of the JUCO guys that they have, they're mature guys. So they approach this game in a workman's-like attitude, and you're seeing it right now.
Arkansas State jumped out to a 5-0 lead in this game. They've led ever since. Lindsey crosses the timeline. Back near midcourt. Defended by Mulmore. Jump stop and he threw it away. Nobody was there except for Johnson of Georgetown. And now Johnson going to take it to the rim. Can't finish, but a blocking foul. And that will send Caleb Johnson to the line.
Good solid defense that possession by the Hoyas. Johnny does a good job. Momo with the hard push, pushes it to Caleb, and Caleb doesn't waste any time. Attacks the basket, picking up the dimer there when he gets to the basket. I really think that Johnny Momo for the Hoyas, number 2, when he gets his hands on the ball, he's trying to run the offense a little bit too much. He's got to use his speed, get down the court, push the ball, try to generate some easy baskets. He's being too coachable right now. And that's a good thing from a coach. You want a guy to try to execute what you want. But he's such a talent with his speed, with the ball, that you can't see it because he's trying to run the offense a little too much.
Mulmore was at Allegheny College at JUCO nearby last year, got on Georgetown's radar. And he's defending the basketball right now off the free throw miss. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Red Wolves working around the outside. Lindsey. Over the corner. Now back up top to Lindsey. 5 to shoot. Contested 18-footer is good. Straight on by Rashawn Lindsey.
That was just great defense, that possession by the Hoyas, and just an even better shot by Lindsey.
Lindsey played 2 years at a junior college in Missouri. And now with Arkansas State and helping them out offensively. And here's a steal by Carter. And a one-handed slam. 23-point lead for the Red Wolves. Mulmore. The dribble drive. He does draw the foul.
Again, lazy pass that possession by Mulmore. Carter shoots the lane, gets down the basket. When you see a possession like that, Mulmore as well as the receiver, they've got to help each other out. One, it should have been a better pass. 2, the receiver has to close the gap. But look, Arkansas State, they're all over. Every button they're pushing has been the right button, defensively and offensively in this game.
We were talking about Mulmore a moment ago. He steps to the line and hits the first. Grant McCaslin adjusting the tie. No sweat on the brow, and there shouldn't be right now.
Oh, man. He's cruising on into this halftime. I tell you what, though, even though he's not sweating on the outside, I know he's burning up.
Still 1:11 left, but when you go into the locker room, if you're Grant McCaslin with this lead, what do you say? Hey, just more of the same guy.
You say, don't try to separate yourself from what we've been doing. Don't try to tweak it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to go off on your own. Do what we have been doing. And what they've done is they've defeated Georgetown so far in the first half as a unit. Everyone's contributed in their own way. Sims, who hadn't played his first 2 games, has given them a huge jolt. They've shared the ball. Their spacing in the half court has been good. Their defense has been very aggressive in the half court.
Stick around. Coming up, the Jeep halftime report. A little over 48 seconds on the game clock from now. Devin Carter with 19 points. This would be number 20. No. He'll have one more chance at it, however. Preseason first team all-conference. He can do it inside. He can do it outside. Last year was a 42% three-point shooter. He's hit a couple of them tonight, but rare that man misses two at the line. He did, however. A three, no good by Mosley, but he got pushed to the floor. So we'll have a trio of free throw attempts coming up for Jagan Mosley.
3 shots, guys. 3 shots.
Jagan Mosley, one of the very talented pieces for Georgetown that's new to John Thompson and company. Coming into the game, 8 assists, no turnovers, 4 steals through the first 2 contests. That's a heck of a way to start your campaign.
He's been an absolute rock preseason and early on in the first few games. You know, he played for Hurley at St. Anthony's in Jersey City. Just understands what it's like mentally and physically to play at this level.
St. Anthony's and Bob Hurley, as you're alluding to, storied high school program. Jagan Mosley led them to a 32-0 season last year in a state championship. As Lindsay takes a seat for Arkansas State. Mosley misses the second. The first half struggles for the Hoyas continue. About a 10-second difference shot and game clock. Arkansas State spreading things out.
They've got 5 guys on the floor right now, Arkansas State, that can create off the bounce.
Copeland puts a hand in the cookie jar and gets fouled for the personal, his second.
No need that possession for Copeland to reach at all. Clock is on your side. He starts to make his move. He has support behind you. Now you give him an opportunity to get easy points at the free throw line.
Copeland frustrated. Sims. 9 first half points for Devin Sims. LJ Peak back out there for Georgetown, and then for Arkansas State, Kern will sit for likely the final 19.7. Devin Sims of St. Louis, Missouri, cannot join the double figures party. He sits at 9 points. Shot clock off for the Hoyas. See if they can end this half on an up note. Wilmore. Down the left side of the lane. No, tap back. Yes, by Govan. But Jesse Govan, really the lone bright spot for Georgetown.
The spacing. Carter nails the 3. Their confidence is high. Now they're feeling really good about themselves. And the Hoyas are in an uphill battle.
That's a look at the Jeep halftime highlights and how Arkansas State has expanded this lead to 19. Now the second 20. How will the Hoyas respond? Thomas from the block. He lost it. Picked up, however, by Boucher. 1 on the shot clock as it falls down to Copeland, and the horn sounds. And they will call it a shot clock violation. Turnover, Arkansas State. Let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Jeep.
Brendan, the biggest thing that jumps out to me is the field goal percentage from Arkansas State, which is 65. They're shooting 71 from 3, and the Hoyas struggling mightily from the floor, 34.
A short look converted by Isaac Copeland. Well, a turnover by Arkansas State, a basket by Georgetown. That's a good start to the second half.
Look, it's all about minor victories at this point with the Hoyas. They got to stop, which was great. They went down, executed, and scored.
Now Arkansas State will slow it up outside the arc. And an offensive foul on Thomas. Taking the contact, the freshman Jagan Mosley.
Jagan Mosley slides his feet, beats Carter to the spot. Thomas to the spot, takes it in chest, first 3 possessions, 2 defensively, 1 offensively, really good so far for the Hoyas.
And that's big, Ron. That is the 3rd on Dante Thomas, one of their backcourt leaders and a senior. He'll have to sit.
Oh, and Thomas has done a great job here so far in the first half at orchestrating this offense, dealing with the Hoyas' pressure. That's going to be a huge loss early here in the second half.
He has 8 points, 5 assists, no turnovers, and now sitting down after committing that charge. Peak kicks out Mosley. A little strong. But Mosley gets his own miss. And we're up and under mode. It's back down to 15 and a 5-second call. 3 quick second half turnovers by the Red Wolves. And it is loud in McDonough Arena right now. Timeout taken by Arkansas State. Loss probably shouldn't have been a loss. It was the Maryland win over Georgetown a couple of nights ago, but what an amazing start for the conference.
It's a lot of parity in this league. You know, I looked at preseason poll and saw that Marquette was picked around 7 or 8. That's one of the best 7 or 8 teams in the country, I tell you that.
Govan misses the easiest shot he's had tonight. But then a foul inside on Arkansas State.
Good action on that possession by the Hoyas to get Jesse going towards the basket. He's got to convert it. Forget the dunk. Just get the 2 points. Empty out the backside. Roll into the basket. Just get the 2 points.
Had he converted, he would have 20 points. He had 18 in the first half to Govan.
See, right now, if you're Govan, you want to be as greedy as you can, especially when you're around that basket. You know they can't guard you. Take all aggressive moves towards the basket.
Pryor, no, off the heel. And Rodney Pryor just 2 points. He had 32 in their first game. Kern with a rare air ball and unable to clean it up. Bruce. Hoyas march the other way. Peak lost it going up, but a foul defensively.
The Hoyas, that possession, took a page out of Arkansas State's book. Off the turnover, the hard push. They didn't waste any time. They didn't allow Arkansas State to get back. LJ Peak pushed it hard and was able to get to the line.
Mentioned Rodney Pryor with just 2. LJ Peak also only 2 points. And those guys combining for 4, that's a problem for Georgetown.
Look, when you look at it at halftime, the Hoyas shot 34%. You got 2 of your better offensive guys with only 2 points at this juncture. They're lucky to be down, you know, by only 15 right now. You know, so look, they're chipping away at it. They found a little bit of rhythm right now. If you're Arkansas State, you have to know the Hoyas are going to be a little bit aggressive right now. They were down big, so they've got to meet their passes with 2 hands. Ball fake, make sure you make short passes. And then again, try to get the ball at half court, spread the Hoyas out, and execute your half court offense with your spacing like you did in the first half.
Second half scoring, 6-0 Georgetown. Also 3 Arkansas State turnovers. So the second 20 have been kinder to the Hoyas. 3 from the wing. That is no good by Carter. And then a battle for the rebound. And they're going to whistle that against Georgetown's Rodney Pryor. First foul of this second half on Georgetown, and it is the second on Pryor in the game. Lindsey triggers. Up top to Sims. And back to Lindsey. The 5'10" point guard setting up shot with 20 to shoot.
I like the shifting of the defenses by the Hoyas. Now they're in 2-3 matchup zone. They got out of the man-to-man. Sometimes change for the sake of change sometimes defensively is good.
A little floater air ball from Carter, ripped out of there by Pryor.
Good hard run by Jesse Govan in that possession. Hoyas got to find him. He's open on the inside.
Nice dish, but an offensive foul before the pass comes from Pryor. So he has quickly picked up his second and third personals as the grad transfer from Robert Morris.
Pryor got caught with his feet up in the air. What do they teach you? When you penetrate, jump stop. Don't float. Arkansas State, good job sliding under him, drawing that third foul on Pryor. Pryor's not in rhythm this game, but you got to give the Red Wolves credit for taking him out of sync.
Scoreboard had him at 3 as there is a foul on Arkansas State. So fouls abound here. That's 4 on Arkansas State. We've already seen 2 on Georgetown. But I want to correct Pryor. Pryor has 4 fouls now. There's the push on Rashad Lindsay.
And that's an easy call for the official to make. That was just a blatant push off. Anytime the officials see your arms extended, they don't have to think hard on that one.
Driving inside Mulmore, and that's an offensive foul. 3 offensive fouls in about 25 seconds off the clock.
This one, Mulmore just put his head down and barreled his way through. That was easy for the official to make. To get the same action, the same idea after a little ball movement.
That's the first personal on Mulmore. But again, I want to correct Rodney Pryor, Georgetown. The scorekeeper said 3 fouls. That was indeed his 4th. So Pryor sitting with 4 fouls and just 2 points for the Hoyas. Arkansas State has yet to score in this second half. They led 48-29 in intermission. Jumping to grab it, Foster. Across the lane, it's swatted out of bounds by Jesse Govan.
Great job by the big fella clogging up the middle. Hard drive right here by Arkansas State. Jesse Govan comes over. And that's sometimes as a big, you don't get credit, but that is huge. You just want to clog up the middle, make these guys take as many jump shots as possible, and make yourself a presence on the inside. A
desperation 3 by Rashad Lindsay. Well, desperation or not, it drops, and it's a big one. 51-35 Arkansas State. No whistle on the contact that time under the goal. And then a bad pass by Govan, leading to a 5-on-1. Taking it, scooping, and scoring Devin Carter.
Arkansas State off the turnover by the Hoyas. Again, they don't wait. Hard push and attack to score.
Devin Carter now with 21 to lead everybody on both sides. Mulmore passes up on the 3. Peak will take the 3 and bury it. LJ Peak was a 41% three-point shooter last year. He can knock it down. He shows it there. Well, we are having a lot of whistles here so far in the second half.
His energy level up, work hard to get his hands on the ball. Don't just wait for it to come to him, because he's had an awful lot of success in this game.
Peak was 7 tonight, but he's starting to turn it up a little bit here in the second half. As Rashad Lindsay, the junior JUCO transfer, crosses the timeline, defended by Mulmore. With speed on speed right there.
And tons of it.
Lindsay, nice bounce pass. An easy reverse for C.J. Foster.
Again, that time I thought on the backside of that position, Mosley fell asleep off of the penetration. His man slid behind him for the easy layup.
Govan, he's been the leader, 18 points for Georgetown, number 15 in gray, but this time it's Peak. Yes! So both of Georgetown's three-pointers at the hands of LJP. Georgetown has chipped it down to 14. Largest lead earlier in the first half was 23 by the Red Wolves. Baseline drive, Foster off balance, lost it. Whistle, and we're going to have a blocking foul on Georgetown. And the crowd rains down the boos here at McDonough Arena.
I got to see this one again because I didn't see it in real time. Jesse Govan, it looked like he was backing up. I don't know about that one. He was going away from the guy. Maybe the official said it because he was moving. But that one didn't look clear-cut to me.
He was close to that restricted area. Not sure if he was completely outside of it. Either way, Govan wasn't happy with a call, picking up his third personal.
He certainly wasn't the initiator of contact in that possession.
Second free throw good for C.J. Foster. Sims has checked back in for Arkansas State, 23 in red. As Peak has it on the wing, he's hit both three-pointers, as I said a moment ago, for Georgetown in this game, both here in the second half. Mulmore gets the screen from Mosley and resets. Mosley inside Gobert. Double team, kicks out. Mosley. Little strong. And attempting to rip it away there. Johnson is going to get a new possession for Georgetown. Nice hustle by Caleb Johnson.
As Caleb Johnson didn't give up on the play. You see Arkansas State a little lazy with the ball. He dives on it. Arkansas State hitting it last before it went out of bounds. Caleb Johnson, he's a guy to get you extra possessions. Missed a few layups early in this game. He's got to make sure that's not messing with his confidence. Just shake it off and get back to going in this game.
Johnson, who is kind of listed as the 10th man in a 10-man rotation for John Thompson, getting some extra minutes tonight. And that foul goes against number 10 in the scarlet and black, Jemiah Simmons. And tracking the team fouls, each group with 5 right now. And we could be in for a lot of free throws down the stretch. Still 13:49 to go in this one. There's the aforementioned Caleb Johnson from South Hill, Virginia, sophomore, giving it off to Copeland. L.J. Pete steps back. Can't get it. And it's Kern taking it away from Mulmore. Georgetown doing better so far this half. But still a 56-41 lead for Arkansas State out of the Sun Belt. Both teams 1 win, 1 loss this year. Caught up in traffic, Lindsey, he walked with it.
Defensively that time the Hoyas went small. Isaac Copeland at the 5 with Johnson at the 4. They were able to switch everything. They switched all their cuts, they switched all their screens, and they were able to stay in front of Arkansas State for the entire shot clock that possession.
11 turnovers for the Red Wolves, 8 for Georgetown.
Red Wolves have to be happy. Thomas coming back into the game, number 0. Got hit with some quick fouls to start the second half, but he handled this pressure by the Hoyas in the first half.
Thomas with the 3 fouls, 8 points. Open look, Johnson. It is a 2. Toe is on the line. First points of the night for Caleb Johnson. Pulls the Hoyas back within a baker's dozen. Sims bouncing it left of the lane. Nice foul. The turn can't convert. Sims, however, flying in to grab it and finish.
Sims with a cold man rebound that possession. He went up and just took it out of Moses' hand.
Double figures now, 11 for Sims. Copeland able to finish with the right hand. A little finger roll action from the block.
Defensively, what the Hoyas have done is they look to realize that Arkansas State is giving them a lot of trouble in the half court, going off the dribble, coming off the screens. They decide to go small so they can match up.
Thomas backing down Mulmore. Now Simmons. Blocking foul, count the basket. Jemiah Simmons with a chance at a 3-point play. So Arkansas State trying to ward off Georgetown. It was away. You saw the 10 points, 8 of them in the second half. Junior from Daphne, South Carolina. But right now all eyes on Jemiah Simmons. The freshman from the Virgin Islands trying to complete a 3-point play out of the timeout, and he does just that. Less than 12 to play from McDonough Arena. Splitting the defenders, Peak. Nice dish out to the freshman. Mosley can't hit. But Johnson sticks it back home. He's fouled. Getting a nice little boost from Caleb Johnson off the bench.
Great job, but was impressive out here. The Hoyas fought for the offensive rebound, giving him a second shot opportunity. Caleb Johnson shaking off the cobwebs a little bit, Brandon. Started off slow in the first half, missed some easy shots, got down on himself, hit 2 baskets here in the second half, starting to turn the corner a little bit.
Bruce comes back into the game. I mentioned earlier that Johnson kind of the 10th man in this 10-man rotation for Coach Thompson, but he's played 15 minutes here so far.
But it's interesting this year for the Hoyas. You know, Coach Thompson said when the season started, he said the toughest thing is with this season is I don't have any starters. I have 10 guys that you can make a legitimate argument of whether they should start the game or not. He said he wanted to make sure that they were able to finish and complete games because he thought they had a lot of versatility. They can play big or they can play small.
I guess that's a good problem and a bad problem. You have so many people you don't know who to start. That gives you depth, but...
Well, the key is, you know, starting isn't what it's made up to be. The key is when the game is close, does the coach have you on the floor or not?
Thomas, wild shot, circus shot. Somehow he got it to drop.
I like his game, I tell you. I mean, he's just no frills. Nothing, you know, is really fancy about what he does. He just finds a way to get it done.
And he becomes the 4th Red Wolf in double figures. He has 10. There's Dante Thomas.
And he missed most of the first half.
They picked up a couple early personals. Copeland on an angle. 8 points now for Isaac Copeland. Georgetown has yet to get it down to single digits since midway through the first half. Right now it's 13. Arkansas State has led pretty much from the tip. They jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Thomas, yes.
Again, just nudge Isaac Copeland just enough to get him, you know, off his balance so he can make that layup. When you watch Thomas play, you see he's got an old head kind of game. You know, doesn't jump exceptionally high, doesn't shoot it all that great, but just a problem on the court.
High arcing attempt in the corner, no good by Moore. Now pushing the tempo, Carter. Spin move. Left-handed finish at the rim. The two go-to guys, Devin Carter and Dante Thomas, showing up. Carter now has 24 after that last basket. And almost a steal by Sims instead of foul. Or rather, Tomas Bruce with a personal. That's his 4th.
Watch Carter. Puts him in the blender. Nice spin move there. Is able to get to the basket. Beating Mosley off the bounce. Carter can just flat out score the ball. You know, and what I like most about him is he's a guy that's needed to score on this ball club. So and he knows it. So if he misses 2 or 3 shots, he thinks something was wrong with the rim or something's wrong with the ball. It definitely isn't him. But you need your scorers to have that kind of mentality.
It's like when you used to star here at Georgetown. Right? You miss it's a rim.
Look, I knew I wasn't going to be out there that long, so I had to make every minute count. If I had an open shot, it was going down.
He's Ron Thompson. I'm Brandon Gunwell. You played here 88 to 92, right?
88 to 92.
Alonzo
Mourning. Dikembe Mutombo graduated in 91. You know, you can come in this gym and you get the chills a little bit. This was the first time I'd come to see a college game as a baby, as a kid in this arena. The first time I played in a college game was in this gym. So a lot of memories between these walls.
I have a whistle here with 9:46 remaining. There's Mr. Thompson.
Oh, they got me. Who did that? Producer didn't even let us know.
They got me with a loosened tie, all disheveled up here. There was no warning there. As both teams go to the benches as we try to sort out what the whistle is about. 67 to 51 is the score for Arkansas State.
And Dante Thomas has been the guy early on in this game. Just gives it to you in a lot of ways. He can go off the bounce, takes the contact, still able to finish. Here comes off a little ISO, nudges Isaac Copeland just enough to get the ball to the rack. And he's handled a lion's share of this press by the Hoyas solo. You know, and he goes at his own pace. He doesn't let you speed him up. He knows how to play. But more importantly than that, he has confidence in himself. Hadn't seen him beat on his chest. Hadn't seen him scream and holler. He's just executed what his coaches wanted from the tip.
It was a clock issue. They adjusted a couple seconds, and now we're back and ready to go. But to your point, Grant McCaslin is telling us that shoot-around as Thomas misses from long range. Offensive rebound by Foster. Carter's second attempt, no. And the basketball will go to Georgetown. Grant McCasland, head coach Arkansas State, was saying, to your point a moment ago, Ron, because of Dante Thomas and Devin Carter, two senior experienced guards, he felt that even if Georgetown pressed, they had a good chance.
He certainly, and he said that to us. You're right. In the practice this morning, and they're proving their coach right. They've been able to handle it. I like the energy level that they had to shoot around today. You know, and they're attentive. They paid attention to detail.
They're up 16 right now. Trying to pull off an early season stunner. Govan faces a double team. He's able to spin out of it, and he'll head to the line.
Good move that time by the big fella. I thought, you know, he allowed himself to get pushed a little too far away from the basket, but he found his way to get back there, and now he's going to go to the free throw line.
And that is the 5th personal foul on Simmons. Grant McCasland mentioned he had the time at Baylor. An assistant under Scott Drew also played there. And a longtime JUCO coach, getting his 200th win as a head coach earlier this week. So the substitution will be made here as Rashad Lindsay replaces Simmons. I mentioned Simmons 5 fouls, so he will sit the rest of the way. Finishing with just 2 points. He only attempted 1 shot and made it.
These are two teams, when you look at it, are similar in a lot of ways. They like to use a lot of players. They like to play an up-tempo style. In the half court, their offense, there's terrific spacing, so they're scoring and driving opportunities. Now, right now, the Hoyas have decided to go small to try to match up with their speed and their quickness, and that's a sign of respect. You know, when you can get, you know, a coach to shift what he wants to do because of what you have done, you know, that's the chess match that goes on throughout the course of a game between two coaches. And now with 9 minutes to go, Arkansas State just has to hope that they can hold on, that there's enough time, that the Hoyas don't start to get on another roll and get this crowd back in it.
20 now for Jesse Govan. Presses on. Do you like the move to go small by Georgetown?
I do, because what it does is it enables you in the half court to stay home. You can switch everything. You know, it's really hard for the opponent to turn the corner like they were doing in the first half.
Mosley pressuring Lindsay. Lindsay a little disrupted, 15 to shoot. Mosley, the freshman, defending. He is a very good guy on both sides of the ball, but excellent at pressuring it. And there's a travel. So the intensity ratcheting up a couple of levels, and it forces Devin Sims to walk with it.
This was an easy call to make. I thought Sims tried to go a little bit too quickly right here. Had his mind made up. 1-2. Jab, step, go without putting the ball on the deck. Just slow down, young fella.
It's another point of emphasis you'll hear broadcast crews talk about early on this season. Perimeter travels, guys shuffling their feet early. And there's a Georgetown turnover. Mosley had his foot on the near sideline, and Clarence Armstrong caught it.
You see good ball reversal, good space, and you see, yeah, foot's all the way out of bounds. Easy one for the official to make.
Good job by the official, Clarence Armstrong. He, Earl Walton, and Nathan Farrell doing a great job. And here's a scrub in the backcourt. But Arkansas State able to escape. As Lindsay flips it to Foster, he brings it up the floor. And a nice miss inside. And one. Reversing it, Nelson Weke with his first basket.
Good job again, Arkansas State, Brandon, pushing it to score, staying aggressive, staying in attack mode. That time I thought Jesse Govan, don't tickle him. You know you're getting ready to foul. Don't let him get the ball to the basket. Make an aggressive foul. Don't give him an and one.
That's the 4th foul on Jesse Govan. And he leads Georgetown with those 20 points. Counting the stat sheet with a rebound there on the miss.
He's got to be careful. If I'm Arkansas State, when he catches the ball in the post, I try to bait him into a charge.
He's got it in the post right now. Here comes the double. They've done that a lot. Govan in trouble. Now the ball reversal and peak attack. Oh! Send it in, LJ Peak. Rearing back and throwing it down with a right hand to get Georgetown within 14.
Jesse Govan, when he drew that double team, he got it out of the double team. The Hoyas had good ball movement, which has led to that dunk. Look for them to go back inside to get the defense to collapse again.
Rashad Lindsay up top to Devin Sims. 3 to shoot. Sims off the mark. put back by Weke. No points until a minute ago, and now back-to-back buckets for him. And every time, Ronnie, that this crowd tries to get into it, Arkansas State seems to have an answer.
They've had an answer, offensively as well as defensively. That's how you know you have a mature ball club.
Corner three. Off the mark by Jagan Mosley.
Mosley usually knocks down those shots. The lid's been on tonight for him.
Mosley is 0 of 4 from distance. Georgetown just 2 of 13 collectively from long range. What a win this would be for Arkansas State before they travel to West Point tomorrow and take on Army Saturday. Weke finding himself open again, blocked by Govan, and then he traveled. And Weke has to be frustrated with himself. If he had caught it cleanly, probably an easy deuce.
That was the thing. I thought it. Again, they got off to a good start here in the second half because of the energy that they gave you at the start of the second half from a defensive standpoint. They didn't allow Arkansas State to turn the corner and get easy baskets, stay with that recipe, and look to find LJ Peak in the half court.
LJ Peak, 12 points, 10 of them here in the second half. This is Momore. Nice dish inside and a left-handed finish by Caleb Johnson.
Again, the Hoyas going with this small lineup, trying to wreak havoc a little bit defensively.
And no Govan out there. Going with a smaller, quicker lineup indeed, once again, but breaking the pressure. What a block, though, recovering Momore. Swatted Weke at the rim and picked the other direction. But the crowd quickly stops cheering as they realize that Jonathan Momore, with that excellent block, fell right on his tailbone.
He fell really hard. Excellent effort right here to get back into play. It falls right on his back. Oh, that tailbone. That made me cringe. But then LJ Peak at the other end streaking down. What happened, Momore fell, and Arkansas State, they paused to look at him for a little bit. Hoyas kept playing, pushed it hard the other way.
Second one-handed dunk for Peak. He has 14 points, but Momore trying to massage that tailbone as he goes to the bench. So he's going to have a seat, and he is grimacing in pain.
If the Hoyas can get a stop, score, get this thing to 10 or under, Arkansas State, they're hard to start to pump just a little bit faster with approaching 5 minutes to go in the ballgame.
Arkansas State led by 23 with inside of 2 minutes in the first half. Georgetown, this is the closest they've been in half number 2. 12 points right now. Sims able to beat the pressure, but then he threw it away. Johnson. And a foul by Arkansas State as Johnson was starting to get a little out of control with the dribble.
Caleb Johnson did a great job at reading this play in the back of the press, and then he blows out hard, splitting guys, trying to get to the basket by any means. Arkansas State bumped him there just a little bit too much there as he approached the basket. I think the foul was on Carter.
It was his first 9th team foul. 1-1. Johnson can't get it, but offensive rebound Copeland. And he is held. So now 10 team fouls will mean 2 shots the rest of the way for the Hoyas. Georgetown has been so good at getting to the line this year. They attempted 42 free throws and made 37 of them against Georgetown. Or against Maryland, I should say. Georgetown so far that night tonight is 18 of 26.
And if you can consistently nail your free throws, that's a tool, that's a weapon, especially with this freedom of movement emphasis. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get to the 1-on-1 really quickly, put the ball on the deck, force the defense to make a decision, and go to the free throw line and knock them down.
71-61, back within 10. John Thompson III imploring his team now defensively. Arkansas State has experienced guards beating the pressure. And a finish at the other end by Devin Carter. 25 points for Carter, 9 off his career high of 34.
I tell you, the Red Wolves have been really, really poised. You touched on it. Every time the Hoyas seem like they're getting ready to make a hard push, they have an answer. Whether it's a defensive stop or a well-executed play in the half court. Here, you're going to see good, quick ball movement. Sims passes it ahead. Carter, nice Euro step, gets to the basket, makes it look really easy. When you can score that ball, it doesn't matter whether it's a three, whether it's a dunk. You just want the points.
Yeah, Carter has 25 of those points for Arkansas State. LJP, 13 of his 15 points in the second half. And he is really turning it up. He had 21 against Maryland, the team high, and now 16 tonight. Once again, McDonough Arena getting loud. Does Arkansas State have another play to quiet them?
More. We saw him come back out of the locker room. Went back, probably got a few ice packs, but they need him back in this game because defensively he can really push the pace.
Less than 5 minutes to play in D.C. Carter on the bounce. Offensive foul. Carter has picked up 4 fouls, all in this second half.
Excellent read in the backside of the defense by the Hoyas. Mosley comes over, gives up his body, takes it right in the chest.
So that certainly is a storyline as Mulmore has checked back into the game for Georgetown, but Carter for Arkansas State, who leads everybody with 25, is now playing with 4 fouls. But good to see number 2 in Gray Mulmore back out there after he fell hard a moment ago.
But he's one of those guys you knew he wasn't going to be out long. I mean, his leg would have to be broken. He's that tough a kid.
Junior who hails from New Orleans, Mulmore actually was displaced by Hurricane Katrina, moved to Houston. Tough kid indeed. The freshman Jagan Mosley. Bounce pass to Pryor. Yes. First time it's been single digits in the second half.
That was a set call by Thompson from the sideline. That's the advantage of having your bench in front of you. He wanted to get Pryor going. Nice little isolation for him in the post.
And there's a foul on Mulmore. And Mulmore is saying, what did I do? He thought it was incidental contact with Rashad Lindsay, but they whistled for his 3rd foul.
Let's see, loose ball in the air. Mosley tripped him and grabbed him by the hip. Mulmore did. You know, I want to see a player one time say, yeah, ref, I clobbered him. After every call, everyone's like, I didn't touch him.
And that will send Lindsay to the line for a 1-and-1. 18 fouls on Georgetown. Lindsay calmly knocks it down. He's 7 of 9 from the charity stripe this season.
Brendan, I tell you, the Hoyas have done a great job climbing their way back in this game, cutting it to 8, getting it to single digits. Arkansas State, if they can hit their free throws with the clock winding down, that's going to be absolutely huge for their continued success.
Can't hit the second. Deflected, picked up by Mosley. And it is knocked out by Arkansas State from behind. Devin Sims with the active hand. Approaching 4 minutes.
In the half-court set, look for the Hoyas to try to find some action to get LJP going or Pryor. These are 2 guys with a lot of movement and spacing can give you a problem.
3 from the corner. Off the mark, tap back, no good. What an attempt, though, by Copeland, knocked out off of Arkansas State.
Great job by Copeland trying to get his hands on that ball.
Just his 3rd and 4th points on that last basket. We'll see how he does down the stretch, reigning Big East Player of the Week. You see LJ Peak, number 0 in gray. He has 16 points, 14 of them here in the second half, as that's knocked out of bounds by Thomas of Arkansas State.
Copeland has to shorten the distance on that pass as a receiver. You've got to help the passer. You've got to run through the passing lane with 2 hands.
The Hoyas trailed by 9 inside of 4 minutes on Tuesday, or they led, I should say, over Maryland by 9 inside of 4 minutes and ended up losing that game by 1. Now can they reverse the fortune? That will not help. Mosley misfires. Mosley is 0 of 6 from outside the arc.
This is the first time the Hoyas have had their starting 5 on the court as a unit and since the opening tip. Very long time.
He's Ron Thompson on Brandon Gordon. Starting to go down to the wire here at McDonough Arena in Georgetown.
Jesse Govan has to be careful. He's got 4 fouls right now. Rodney Pryor, he's got 4 fouls.
Driving to the basket, unable to finish Thomas, and that's going to lead to a 2-on-2. He can't get it to go, but it's knocked out off of Rashad Lindsay. It will stay with the Hoyas. They say the ball did not hit the rim there, and it did not. So 25 to shoot. It will not reset to 30 as Devin Carter, playing with 4 fouls, checks back in for Grant McCaslin's squad.
Arkansas State, their communication has to be really high right now. They have a small, nice backdoor. Hoyas just could not convert. Well executed, just could not finish.
Copeland was right eye level with the rim.
Oh, man, right there for the easy layup.
He couldn't believe it. Now they'll get another chance with a new shot clock now. Backdoor cut. Mosley, and now the lead is trimmed to 7.
It's really important for Arkansas State. I started to say it before Isaac Copeland missed that layup, that their communication on the defensive end right now has to be just as high as it was, Brandon, earlier in this game.
Dante Thomas, one of the senior leaders, driving and dishing, offensive foul. Georgetown inbounding back within 7. It was 48-29 at intermission. Peak, he's been the go-to guy in the second half. Dishes to the wing, Pryor. Can't free himself. Peak resets. Deep 3. Short. Front and back of the iron. And a bullet dodge for Arkansas State.
Right now, Arkansas State, they have to understand the Hoyas are going to be a little bit aggressive on their passes. When Arkansas State tries to pass the ball, the Hoyas are going to shoot the passing lane and try to gamble. They have to make sure that they come and meet the ball with 2 hands.
Devin Sims with 5 to shoot. From 14 feet, no good off the heel. Govan with a rebound. 1:40 to go. Georgetown needing to make a move. 3 from Pryor. Yes! 4-point game. 1:33 to play. John Thompson III just hoping that his team can pull this miracle out after being down 23 with about a minute left in the first half. Baseball pass up ahead. Foster's got it. He'll slow it down. Lindsay is trapped, and he has to use that last timeout. He had nowhere to go, and that is a big C.J. Foster waiting to trigger it. Copeland will defend. A good one in our nation's capital. First ever meeting between these two programs. Arkansas State from the Sun Belt, and of course Georgetown out of the Big East. Dante Thomas off to Sims.
I would say his possession, Sims, Thomas, and Carter for Arkansas State are key.
It's going to be Thomas.
Thomas puts his head down and tries to get there. Those 3 guys, Thomas can go off the bounce. Carter can nail 3. Sims has had a blistering game himself. But right here, you see nice little in and out moves by Thomas. Gets to the basket. He's been able to do that all game long.
Let's see, 4th foul on Isaac Copeland, and a big miss at the line by Dante Thomas, a 75% free throw shooter.
Boxing out is key right here for the Hoyas. No second chance attempts for the Red Wolves.
That picture of the bench of Arkansas State says how much this one means for them. But Thomas misses both. By the way, it will be double bonus for the final minute 05 for both teams. Peak on the dribble drive. Finish. He got to the rim, but couldn't score it.
He got to the rim. Looked like he got hit on the wrist that time, but not enough for the official to call.
Now a turnover. Mosley to Peak. And he is heading to the line with 50.7 to go as things heat up in McDonough Arena.
Again, nice hard trap out of Hoya. Sims splits it, lazy pass. Mosley attacks it. Good job by Mosley giving it back to Peak, because Peak's a better free throw shooter.
16 points for Peak. You mentioned his free throw shooting. A perfect 6 of 6 in that department in this game. What a second half for L.J. Peak, the junior from Gaffney, South Carolina.
If you're the Hoyas, if Peak makes this basket and you pick up full, there's no need to gamble in the full court and trap. No need to be that aggressive. Play solid and let them get the ball in the half court and see if they can convert.
Down to 2.
No need to trap. Play it solid.
Thomas works it up against Mosley. The students are jumping here at McDonough Arena. Cross-court skip. Lindsay has it slotted, but it hits the inline. What an effort, though, on the block by L.J. Peak.
Again, hard drive by Arkansas State. L.J. Peak comes over, tries to keep it in bounds, but couldn't quite get there. I like his effort after the block. He didn't just sit and watch. He tried to go get it.
L.J. Peak has been the second-half hero for the Hoyas in this comeback. 10 to shoot, 30 to play.
Hoyas going man-to-man coming down the final stretch.
Dante Thomas. Can't finish. An offensive rebound by Foster. Brings it up top, and he is fouled with 17.5 to go. What a huge rebound by C.J. Foster.
Take a look. Hard drive here by Thomas. No one on the backside was able to come up with that ball. Arkansas State, they get a good bounce. Moore had to foul.
4 fouls on Moore. 2 free throws for both teams. Double bonus both ways, but Foster cannot hit. And Arkansas State has missed their last 3 free throws. We'll see if that proves to hurt them in the end. Foster gets a second. Still a 1-possession game here.
Look to drive. That Hoyas call timeout.
Timeout. 14.6 remaining. You were starting to say, look.
Please make your switches defensively.
First-year head coach, what a win this would be in Game 3 of his tenure with the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Here we go. The inbounds pass is taken away. Oh, my goodness. Devin Sims stepped in front, knocked it loose, and picked it up.
It looked like L.J. Peak just relaxed on the inbound. He throws a chest pass. But it looked like he didn't see the inbound, the guy guarding him while he was taking the ball out. You can't, it's very difficult to throw a chest pass with someone in front of you. I don't think he saw the guy.
That is the 5th foul on Jonathan Mulmore. Number 2 in gray for the Hoyas. So we have a pause while there's a substitution before Sims shoots the free throws.
And L.J. Peak, throughout his career, has been a very, very solid inbounder. And that sounds like something small. The coaches know you got to have someone that can inbound that ball and hit the right person and make the right decisions. He's really frustrated, I know, deep inside.
Sims hits the first. That's a big one. Makes it a 2-possession game. How about Devin Sims? Missed the first 2 games this year for Arkansas State. A violation of team rules. He was suspended. He's coming here off the bench. He has 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting.
He gave them a huge jolt there in the first half when Arkansas State was trying to find their way.
5-point lead. Hoyas have to move quickly. Mosley. Offensive foul. Arkansas State is fired up as Foster takes the charge.
Again, hard push. Mosley tries to force his way through. Foster held his ground. Good call by the official.
It was loud in here a couple moments ago, and now you can hear a pin drop inside McDonough Arena. A steal on the inbound. We're not done yet. Iredell can't hit the 3. And then a foul as Lindsay marches it the other way. So there was a glimmer of hope there for Georgetown. On the steal by Mosley, but Pryor missed the three, and Arkansas State is 2.8 seconds away from pulling off the shocker.
Again, good hustle right there by Mosley. Step back shot right there by Pryor. Didn't get the kind of clean look that he wanted. Hoyas had to foul on the other end. Arkansas State played their butts off this game, and they started the game with the kind of focus that they needed. You know what I'm saying? They started the game locked in. The Hoyas missed their first 6 shots, which kind of put them in the wrong mind frame mentally. And as the Hoyas missed, Arkansas State kept scoring. They got stops. They kept scoring. Credit Coach Kazan for having these guys locked in, loaded mentally, and ready to play. They were really focused at shoot around when we were there earlier.
They were indeed. They led from the opening tip to the very end. And Arkansas State pulls off the stunner, coming to Georgetown and beating the Hoyas 70.